Thanks for stopping by. I'd like to preface this video by saying it is not a knitting tutorial, but a means to have something playing in the background while you work on your own knitting project. If you're like me and really like YouTube, you find that a lot of the content you enjoy is very visually engaging and you're several hours in watching videos and you haven't gotten as far into your knitting as you would have liked. So my channel is a solution to that. Now, if you are new here, you are watching a video from my Knit Ahead for the Holiday series, in which I am pushing myself to finish all of my 2019 holiday gifts before the December deadline when I have to have them mailed and shipped to their rightful new recipients. So in this episode, I am working on a new project that has just been featured here today in the series, and it's not one of my part 2, part 3, part 4s of any of the others. And you'll see in the thumbnail it's actually from this book called Knit Yourself Calm. Now, I purchased this on the Knit Picks website earlier this year. They were having a sale. It was like 40% off on their pattern books, and I took an opportunity to add to my knitting pattern book collection, which I probably don't need to. I have enough hand-me-downs and things like that to keep me busy, but the cover really intrigued me, and it wasn't so much like A Creative Path to Managing Stress is the subtitle, and it's by Lene Rowe and Betsan Corkill, and in the description box I'll link to the ISBN, or I won't link to the ISBN, but I will provide you with the ISBN so you can look up this pattern book yourself. And it's from, or at least it's published by searchpress.com. So I believe you might be able to get it just directly through the publisher's site, but I got mine on KnitPicks, and it is listed as $15.95 US or $19.95 Canadian. And I was looking through here. I actually have a flag of the pattern that I'm doing, and it's the Colour Block Cowl. So let me move my bookmark out of the way. So this is the cowl that I am working on, and I chose to keep it with the three color pattern block style. It's knit with size 7 US on 32 circular, I think. US 6 on 32-inch circular. So you have to knit in the round, and there are actually a lot of other cool patterns in here that I would like to try. There's like a big blanket. Actually, it's a nursery blanket, so it's not that big, but I think I might be able to modify it. It's this one here. I think that's really pretty. So I might try to modify that one day to make it a throw instead of a nursery blanket. And there's all sorts of stuff in here. So I would say check it out if you are into smaller projects that are, I guess, designed to be meditative. I just thought it would be nice to get some more ideas for holiday gifts. And I found this cowl in there, and I thought it would be good for my cousin, because last year I was not able to finish all of my knitting projects, and I was thinking about knitting something for her, and I had it on the back burner because I wasn't really sure what to knit for her, but I saw this cowl, and she's kind of on the trendy side. She's been doing a lot of outdoorsy stuff, but I thought a cowl would be nice when she's out getting like a cider or something with her boyfriend or whatever. So that's that. So I didn't actually include a picture as the thumbnail of the project because I'm not very far in it, so you couldn't even really tell what it was. Even though I've done that in some other projects where it was just at the very beginning stages, and you're like, what is this supposed to be? But I thought I'd change it up for this one. Now, I chose, so it's knit with DK yarn. I chose to I was inspired by the description of this yarn to do like a double-stranded knit with a regular DK and this kid mohair type yarn. You can see the two together. It's very halo-y, this mohair, and then this is the DK merino. But let me give you the exact yarn descriptions in case you would like to purchase these. So this is the main color, color A, and this is going to be my color B. So I have like a nice gray mohair and another gray DK, and this will be color C. That's pretty kind of like mulberry, maybe mulberry-ish, kind of pretty purpley mauvey color. I don't know. It's a pretty berry color. I was drawn to it. A lot of these colors are things that I like, so if she doesn't want it, I will totally take it. So this yarn is Baby Merino, so it is using, you know, it's all European conversion, so I'm not even sure like what the conversion is, but it's 24 stitches and 24 rows and a 10 by 10 centimeter square. So I think that's the 4-inch square, 24 stitches, 24 rows. And the needle is 3 to 3.5. And I'm guessing that's millimeter. That's right? That's what the US size conversion is millimeter. But yes, it's Baby Merino, 100% soft, natural wool. So yes, 100% Baby Merino. And it looks like you can wash it cool. It says 40 degrees, so cool, coldish, cold. Looks like you can iron it. I'm not sure what all of these symbols are at the bottom there, but I would probably suggest that she hand wash it cold or just use a wool soak, which I'll usually include a little packet with it. And yes, so I got this at hobby.com, and this one, the wrapper came off, but it is kid silk, 70% kid mohair and 30% silk. And this was the label of that kid mohair, if you guys see the info. And this is also from Hobby. This is their brand, and it is so 4.5 to 5 millimeter size needle. Oh, they put the conversion on this label, and UK 7 to 6, US 7 to 8, and it is 10 by 10 centimeter square with 22 stitches and 27 rows. And it's designed in Scandinavia, made with love in Italy. All right, so yes, so this one, for the pattern, I have about I think I have the right amount of yarn for this, but I won't reveal too much. So you can look up the pattern, get the pattern book yourself, but I will say that what I've purchased from Hobby should do me, because I think you get like 2 skeins of another yarn that's obviously DK, but the yardage in here is fine. And since I'm doing it double-stranded, I get like this really pretty like halo-y effect around here. So let's begin. Gotta find my other. So that's the tricky thing about this. I've never done a double-stranded with like 2 different types of yarn. It's always been double-stranded with the same yarn, and this is definitely an experience for sure, because one's really thin and kind of fragile feeling, and then the other one seems durable, but the merino is like kind of springy and the mohair is not. It doesn't have a lot of give to it, so, but I really like the effect so far. And I'm actually using the stitch markers that I got at the Knit Pick sale, and it fits really nice. I had to buy a new circular needle because I didn't have a 32-inch cord, and I also have a 40-inch that's 6, US size 6, but it was really taut, and I tried to do like the magic loop thing, but it was not working. So I gave up, and I found some Chiaogu needles online really quick and had them shipped, and they came pretty quickly, so I'm happy about that. And I'm also keeping mark because I need to keep track of how many rows I do of this one part of the pattern. So I just finished row 1, keep going. So it's a Friday evening. I got home from work and thought I would do a video today instead of, well, I might do one tomorrow too. Why not? It's Saturday. What else am I going to do but knit, you know? Enjoy my weekend. But I felt compelled to show you guys this one because I stayed true to my word last video and did some of the the Tempestry project, and I'm pretty far in it. Well, I lie. I'm not far, but I'm at the part where I was really looking forward to just keeping a lot of the colors the same and doing several rows of the same color, and I'm at that point now. So I guess it's kind of like early summer in the year at the part where I'm knitting, so the temperatures are staying relatively consistent. So I'm going like anywhere from 2 to 6 rows of the same color before I have to switch to a different one, and I like that because I don't have to cut the yarn every time I go to a new row if it stays the same color. And if you were watching my other videos where I talked about that, it was very difficult for me to figure out how to carry the yarn, because that meant I would have to keep track of if I was purling on the side versus knitting, if I wasn't going to flip the work so that I could keep it on the same needle. And you're supposed to use circular needles while you knit that so you can keep your work on the same side without turning it. And I'll just have to try again with like some scrap yarn, figure it out, changing colors, carrying the yarn, all that stuff. So until then, I'm fine with just making sure it's done on time and that it looks okay to me, and I feel like it's a good gift. So with that, yes, I will probably be working on that tomorrow while I finish, well, I'm not going to finish this, but at least get to a comfortable transition spot in this one. And I've been keeping track on paper because I have the Chevy wrap that I showed you guys a while ago. That one's at work at the moment, and I have my stitch counter there. I actually have one that came from Hobby that's digital, but I haven't taken it out of my Notions toolkit yet, so I think I'll just keep using the paper for now. One thing I'm worried about is if the batteries die, if I'm going to lose my spot, and I don't want that to happen. So I kind of prefer the analog one versus the digital, so that I can just manually keep track of each stitch I have or each row I'm on. And even though this is a 32-inch circular needle, it's still like it's still very tight. So I'm hoping it comes out okay, because it's tight, but my gauge isn't very tight. But I'm not like loose, and I'm not like tugging on it really hard either because of how short the cord seems to be based on how many stitches I needed. So we'll see. It definitely will fit over her head, so that's good. And now that once I'm done with this one, I feel compelled to knit the same pattern for myself. I tend to like to knit a pattern twice, but some things I'm not going to knit again just because I've knit enough of that thing that I don't need to do it anymore, really, unless it's for another gift. But for myself, I don't feel like I want to. So what are your, well, you're probably going to see this maybe on Sunday, maybe Monday, because of how long it takes for YouTube to convert my videos, because I don't follow the suggested guidelines and keep my files super small, so it takes longer for them to process. But you might see this Monday, you might see this Sunday. So I ask you from the future, what are your weekend plans? So I guess the upcoming weekend, what are you planning on doing? For this weekend, when I'm recording this, like I said, I'm going to knit. I'm going to try to read. There's a book club I have next month, and I haven't really gotten far into the reading, and it's pretty challenging just because it's very random and all over the place. There's not really a clear storyline, and it's hard to get into just because the content itself is kind of dull too. Um, so I don't. Ooh, oh, I didn't include those, or did I? What's going on here? Okay, okay. See, the mohair is tricky because sometimes it doesn't look like it's wrapping with the merino. So I gotta be careful about that because it's kind of doing its own thing down here. So let me know in the comments if you've done a double-stranded. Have you knit two-stranded where you have two different materials or two different fiber types together in a project? Tell me what it was that you knit and what did you think of the end result? And did you say, yes, I want to keep doing projects like this, or were you like, nope, no more? There's this shirt pattern that or blouse or whatever, that I saw, and it was from Pearl Soho, and it's like a summer one, and I believe it was linen and cotton together, or linen and silk maybe, but it was like supposed to be a light breezy top for the summertime, and the pattern I think was free maybe, but on their site, but it did require two different materials to knit together, and the texture looked really cool. Nothing was like halo-y. I think it just added a little bit of a salt and pepper look to it, but you also were using light fibers that are good for summertime because then they're breathable and you get to stay cool, which luckily today it was warm, but I'm not dying today, so I love that. And next weekend, well actually Thursday and Friday I'm off, and then the week after that I'm off, so I'm trying to make some plans. I actually have to reach out first, but I'd like to make some plans with a couple friends of mine who live in the city, and I haven't seen them in a long time, and I'd really like to just catch up, maybe grab dinner or something. Hopefully I can convince my partner to drop me off at the train station so that I'm not a sweaty puddle of gross by the time I get there if I walked in the middle of the day, because it'll be so hot outside. But it'd be nice to go visit them, maybe visit some coworkers from my old job. I did that last year and it was nice, but I did it a lot earlier in the summer than August, and there was like some event going on at work or at my old job, and so there was like hardly anybody there. But I know a lot of people take vacation before it gets busy, and I don't know. It would be nice to see people. I don't know if I have to see them every year, but I do need to get out of this town for a little bit and do some stuff, kill some time. I have this vacation I have to burn. I thought I was going to take a train somewhere earlier, but just the logistics of it didn't work out, so I think that'll be a bigger trip I plan later in the year, or maybe even next year, because when I say later in the year, it's going to be December soon enough, and I'm not going to be able to travel, and I have a conference I have to do, and some other stuff, or I don't participate, I just have to attend it, and some other things, so I might not take that train at the end of 2019, but maybe spring or summer of 2020, that would be nice. So let me know, have you ever taken like an Amtrak somewhere, or a Megabus maybe? What was your experience? Or do you travel a lot anyway? Is that your method of transportation? I usually fly if I'm going anywhere. Occasionally we'll drive someplace if it's not like super super far, but it's rare. I mostly fly. But I don't even really travel like that. I usually just go home to visit my family, or I'm traveling for a work conference. And that's about it. So I'm on my third row now, and I think I need to knit four more, or 9 more. No, something. I don't know. I'll have to look. It'll probably be something that happens off camera before you see what happens. But I'm gonna see how far I get in this before I show you guys again where I am. But I'm really happy that my other project is coming along, and I might show you guys that tomorrow if I film. That'll be tomorrow's episode. And I'm working on another pair of Raylight socks, but in a different color. I finally finished the other ones, and I'm not happy, but they're mine. So this one will be for real for a gift, and I hope they turn out. Now that I've had two instances of knitting one type of sock, the third time, which is the one I'm not on now, should be pretty good. I just gotta take my time. It's for a bigger foot this time too, so we'll see what happens. And I actually just ordered more yarn from Knit Picks. They were having like a little teeny sale, but I bought only one ball of that brown yarn that I showed you guys, and I looked at the yardage I need for the larger size sock, and I needed another ball, so I got that, and then I got 2 of a worsted weight yarn so that I can knit another pair of socks, but using a pattern that I used from like a weekend knitting book, and I'll show you guys that too once I have completed another project, because you start one, or you end one, you start one. So I'm kind of between projects right now, so nothing new yet, but hopefully I will have something to show you soon. And speaking of showing you guys stuff soon, besides tomorrow's potential video, when I'm off, I'm actually off next Thursday, Friday, and I plan to knit then, and I also plan to knit the week after because I'll be off through the 11th. So I go back to work on the 12th of August. It's going to be crazy, but I should be able to squeeze in at least 1 or 2 more weekend videos before things really rev up at my job, and then my weekends will be occupied training people. But after that, I should be back to normal. So hopefully you'll be able to hang tight with some of the content that I already have before I can pick up again with new stuff. Because I gotta keep up with my projects, and as long as I get a lunch break at work, I should be able to stay on track. But I can't believe it's almost the end of the year already, and some people are like, don't tell me, I don't want to think about it, but it's definitely on my radar since I'm really trying to get all these done. And as long as I keep them kind of like baby projects, like little ones, I should be okay. I should be able to manage. And the fact that I already have some done is a really good sign, I think. But I want to scale it back next year and maybe just do like socks, maybe some housewares. I have all these new pattern books now, so I have some inspiration, and any other things I find that I can knock out in a couple weeks would be very good, so then I can keep making content for or content for you guys, and good gifts for my friends and family, and then continue to improve on my knitting. But I really want to knit some stuff for myself in there somewhere, but I can't if I keep making these long projects where I have to get them done by a deadline. So then I can't really jump around too much with other things that aren't related. So next year, I think, next year. Or maybe even early this year if I get these done in time. That'll be good. So, not quite yet to the end. Close enough. This is a good project for me if I take the train, because each group of like rows I have to knit are not very jumpy. I can get a lot done. I can look at the phone. If I take a picture of the pattern and have it with me, it's nothing really crazy where I have to do a lot of math. It's in a circle. There aren't any increases or decreases. There's not, there's only a color change when I'm finished with a large group of one color in the repeating pattern. So it is like a calm knitting, because I don't have to stress myself out with a complicated pattern. So I like that. And so let me know in the comments, do you have this Knit Yourself Calm book? And if you do you have a pattern out of it that you particularly like? And let me know, because I flipped through it already when I first got it and flagged the stuff that really sprung out at me as things I wanted to try first. But if there's one in particular that you're like, yes, I have that book, I love this pattern, it's great for gifts, or I've knit this many times for myself and my friends, just let me know in the comments, because I like to see what's your favorite pattern out of here. And then one day I'll show you the other pattern book where I made that. If you remember from one of my other videos, I talked about some socks I made before with an afterthought heel, and I plan to revisit that for a gift when I get through probably at least one pair of gift Raylite socks before I move on to any other socks. So that'll be coming down the pipe soon. Well, soon for me, but you guys are probably like, come on, where's the next project? You've been knitting that dog sweater for months now, and I have, so I'm still on the one panel too. So I might work on that tonight as well. We'll see. I have a agenda. Alright, so we are just about to the end of my round, not row. And I will say that I am done. Alright, so I'm just going to knit this one to save my stitch marker so it doesn't fall off. But the pattern isn't going to change for a long time, so I'll just mark that as my third row with this knitting in the round. Interesting. Yeah, I'm really excited to see what the finished product looks like compared to the very, very pretty photograph in there. But I am finished for the moment. I would like to thank you for sticking around for the duration of the video. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it. And if you enjoy my videos, enjoy listening to me ramble about life and all of the weirdness that goes on in my life, please hit the subscribe button so that you can be notified when I upload new content. I try to at least, at this point in my life, I am trying to do at least one video a week. And if I'm really lucky, I can do more than that. But one a week, it might slow down a little bit in the fall and in the spring when we transition at work and it gets really busy for me. But if I could do one a week for forever, that's pretty good for me, considering how slow I knit and life things that happen. And if you really liked when my baby boy Koji came to say hello in the last episode, let me know in the comments too, and I'll try to incorporate him. I'll even try to get Kabu to come and say hello as well. Sometimes she's a little finicky, so you guys didn't see her in the last one, but she'll come around one day. So yeah, let me know if you guys like my kitties and want to see them and some more videos, and I'll try to film more downstairs. And with that, thanks again for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.